Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for our October midweek fishing report for Clearlake, California. And I'm not sure how much help this fishing report is going to be. My last day on the water fishing was on Sunday, and since then we have had drastic changes up here weather-wise. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we had some rain, we've had wind, and the temperatures dropped up here by more than 20 degrees. Traditionally, I don't have my first fire in the fireplace until Halloween, but the last 2 days I've started a fire because my tired old bones were getting cold. But anyway, let's take a look at what we got here in the Oaks, a familiar spot for all my friends and subscribers here on the channel. But you can see the spraying has taken its effect. All this is dying and going bye-bye. The water clarity's not as good as it was last week, but I assume that's probably from all the wind we've had and the decaying debris that are in the water now. And unfortunately, you can see that I still don't have a boat on my ramp. Good news is I should be getting it next week. I'm really happy with the place that it's at. They're doing a super thorough job, and I'm gonna have a tournament ready bass boat when they get back. But man, it's just crazy how much water we've lost since our high water level early this spring. You guys can go back and check some of my earlier videos. I mean, search "Love is in the Air" and look at the big bass down here spawning on this concrete wall and how much water there was. Really something. Anyway, the fishing. You guys that watched the last video that I posted, you seen that day one was a struggle, and day two we just wrecked them. Well, when you wreck them in a spot, you figure, well, we can just go right back there and duplicate that easy enough. But we went back there. We didn't go there on Saturday because there was a big tournament going on, man. Congratulations to the winner of that tournament. They posted 2 back-to-back just great bags, and there were so many 20-pound bags weighed. It was amazing. But we went back to that same spot, and it seemed like 75-80% of that bait had moved out, and that bite had died. It was gone. But the thing about that spot is it was literally a cast in a cast. There was about a 30-yard stretch that was 20 feet wide that you would get bit in every time you cycled through it. And that's just how tight the fish are up here right now. And on Sunday last week, we were around the winners of the tournament, and a lot of the guys that placed top, and they were just hunkered down. I mean, the guys that were doing good, they were hunkered down and just fishing Pacific spots. They weren't just running and gunning. You didn't see a whole lot of running and gunning. I mean, you knew where the fish were. It was basically the bent pole pattern being fished up here, and where wherever the boats were. I mean, it just pretty much told you where the fish were. But it looked like chatterbait was king, and of course the spinnerbait was king. And I struggled. Well, we both struggled because, you know, we were giving the tournament guys their room, even though we were in the areas close to them. Not being on that exact spot just makes all the difference in the world. You really got to find the spot in the spot, and just keep cycling into it. But what we did find, having to just go and put something together, is the drop shot and the Ned rig was just pretty much just the way to catch them. When you got to the point, it's like, okay, I need to catch a fish, we would go and grab the drop shot and that Ned rig with the frenzy nail and the egg zone baits. And the strange thing about it, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to believe this because it rings just opposite of what the majority of us believe, but we could not get bit on the wood docks. And traditionally, the wood docks are the best, in my opinion, because they're the oldest. They've got the brush piles, they've got the lawn chairs, the barbecue grills, who knows what all you're going to find on them. But 90% of the time, they're holding fish. But every single metal dock that we fished, we would get bit on. So we just started running the metal docks, and we would get bit on every single one of them. But I did catch a giant catfish. I don't know if I got any pictures of it, and that was on the red tiger striped LV. Man, I was convinced I had the world record bass, but Then he started doing the death roll. And I caught my biggest fish on a large profile white spinner bait. But what I was doing different, I was just fishing it like an A-rig and just throwing it out into nowhere land. It's like anybody that seen me probably thought I was just trying to clear my line, but that's the way I was fishing it. And I'd let it sink down to the bottom, give it a little pop, and just slow roll it, and that got me my biggest fish. But we did get a limit both days, but we struggled not being able to just fall in there and get on them sight Pacific. But we had some friends up here fishing, and literally for about an hour and a half of the day on Sunday, we just put our poles down and just sat and watched them fish. And they were catching them on the outside weed lines on the chatterbaits, and they were actually getting frog bites. Even though I can't buy one, they were getting frog bites. So it was fun to watch them. And I mean, congratulations to Xavier and his partner. They got a check, and a lot of the local guys did pretty good on this thing. So anyway, like I said, you guys, let me show you. It's just a beautiful day up here today. Not windy at all. The last couple days have been so windy and overcast, but it's back to just beautiful Clearlake, California. So my guess is the fishing is insanely good right now with these water temperatures dropping. I'm guessing that the swim bait bite that had gone bye-bye is going to be back, and the jig bite I know is going to be doing okay. And if I was coming up here, I would be tying on a jerk bait as well. And of course that deep crank should turn back on. But anyway, I would say that if I was coming up here, I would have the mindset of a full fall transition, and that's the way I would try to target them. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that subscribed to the channel and that come and watch this old cowboy iron worker try to help you out with the fishing. But anyway, you guys know what's next. Like I like to say, when you come up here, treat people the way you want to be treated, and peace out, baby.